Thanks, Les Tánaiste, millions and millions of people across the world have taken to the streets in cities to show their solidarity and absolutely horror what's gone on in the last 6 weeks in Gaza. And last Saturday there was over 50,000 people in Dublin and Belfast that kind of went on the streets and showed their solidarity in relation to what's going on. And a whole cohort of people are being politicised in relation to what's going on in Gaza. And they see not only the hypocrisy of the Western powers, but also the hypocrisy of the Israeli state. And they see that their governments are complicit in their silence in relation to condemnation of the Israeli state. And that is not only now, but in the past. And the only comparison I can make in my lifetime was in 2003, when millions upon millions of people came out in solidarity with the people of Iraq. Because what was going to be subjected to the people of Iraq and what we've seen was over 1 million people killed by the American military machine. And I say to the people that somehow believe that Israel was the beacon of democracy in the sea of despots. What democracy subjects the people of Palestine to 70 years of apartheid? What democracy kills 14,000 people in the space of 6 weeks? What democracy kills 5,000 children? Is there any questions? What democracy does that? And the only way, Tánaiste, that actually Israel can be held to account, and we have said this numerous times, is that it has to be held to account in relation to its war crimes, whether that's economically, diplomatically, or militarily. I mean, I spoke to you last night about, the deal that we have in relation to the defence forces. It has bought €6 million worth of equipment in relation to the Israeli defence forces. Now, you got kind of tied up on reason why we shouldn't stop that. We should stop that immediately. And Ireland should support the BDS campaign, which I think has to be re-energised in relation to the boycott and the isolation of Israel. I mean, it was done in the 1980s in relation to apartheid South Africa, so why can it not be done now? And we've seen across the world where workers collectively have taken action against the terrible crimes of Israel. We've seen in Belgium, where port workers have refused to handle Israeli goods. Now, can you imagine the kind of knock-on effect in relation to the world, individually and collectively by trade unions refusing to handle Israeli goods? Because it seems that the governments of the countries that we're in and the countries around the world will not do anything whatsoever. It's business as usual. Now, are you telling me, after what Israel have done in the last 6 weeks, it's business as usual? Come on. It's not business as usual. We can't treat Israel like a normal state. It's not a normal state. It subjects the Palestinian people to apartheid and is a state of racism. And the only way the state of Israel survives is the perpetual oppression of the Palestinian people and by the perpetual sense of violence and brutality against the Palestinian people. And the Palestinian people have a right to defend themselves and to challenge and resist against occupation. We will always stand with the Palestinian people, always. So, Tánaiste, it's so important that Ireland has a huge empathy and solidarity with the people of Palestine and all oppressed people across the world. But we have to stand up for the people of Palestine. We have to show moral courage and principle that what's been done against the people is absolutely wrong, and we have to hold Israel to account.